Welcome back to Out of the Rough. I'm Fred Arnold, and I'm with Diana Meyer. Diana Meyer is with Meyer Marketing Intelligence, and we're going to talk about transforming customers into lifelong customers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fred.
Let's talk about what's all that mean. Let's talk about great customer service.
Well, what it really boils down to, whether it's in a business relationship or your personal relationship, it's the basic manners that your mom taught you when you were a kid. And you really need to apply that to the business place. So when you're dealing with a customer, it's the please, it's the thank you, it's how are we doing? If you make a mistake, apologize. It's okay. It's going to be okay. And then fix it. So it all boils down to that. Once you get that key component down to maintain your good manners, treat your customers the way you would like to be treated, remember the golden rule?
Yes.
Then you're going to transform them, keep them into lifelong customers, and they're going to come back to you instead of shopping for somewhere else.
Yeah, I like that. And I like the fact that in the previous session we had Michael Crane talk about running to the problem, running to challenges. But you're so right. If you find out there's a problem and you fix that problem and apologize and make it right, you're going to actually have a raving fan versus what you had before. Absolutely.
What you're going to create is an evangelist for your company.
I like that, evangelist.
Which is what you want to do. You want to create your customer evangelist because it's going to be much easier and much cheaper for you as a business to keep your customers than to lose them and always constantly have to go get new customers.
And that comes to one of the primary things you focus on with companies when you consult them, and that is asking your customers as an owner, how do we do?
Right, absolutely. How did we do? How was the service? What did you like? What didn't you like? What other things do you want to see us provide to you? Because it's not only important to know how we're doing right now, but what other needs do they have? You don't want them to go to your competition because they're filling a void that you can't fill.
Now, I like that, and you don't want them to go to your competition, which I think is absolutely critical. But also, you might be able to complement, if it's a restaurant, a menu item.
Absolutely.
You might be able to offer another service. You might be able to offer referral to a complimentary service.
Absolutely.
By asking, but you don't know if you don't ask.
Right, you don't know. And it might also be an alternate revenue stream for you that you're not even aware of, that you even have.
Yes, and how do you keep customers from going elsewhere?
The basic thing is treat them well. And always be on the cutting edge of coming up with new products or new services for them. Don't just offer the same thing over and over and over again. If you see the guy down the street is offering something a little bit different, incorporate it into your service offering. Make sure you're not getting stale in what you're offering. Make sure you change it up a bit. If your customers are getting younger, make sure you communicate with them the way they want to be communicated with. Don't rely on your mail.
That's one of the things I know you and I have talked about in the past, and that is snail mail I still believe in, but there's so many other ways to communicate with your customers.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about those ways.
Okay, sure.
And we have Joel in the next session coming on about computers and communication.
Right.
But what are some of the ways you recommend?
Well, email. Whether it's an email newsletter or just an email touching base, how did we do? The next thing is a blog. Especially if your customers are more businesses, write a blog, provide some educational information, provide more information about your products or services. That's another great way. Facebook. I know business to consumers are really involved in Facebook. There's a lot of business to businesses that are getting into Facebook also. Because remember, it's all about building your relationship. And the person, even if it's a business buying your services, there's a human being behind that business. And so you want to create that relationship. Think of the social media as a way to enhance your face-to-face relationship.
I like that because it started with newsletter, which was the old school way of doing it. Then it went to email.
Yes.
And almost email we're finding nowadays is maybe a bother for some people. So now they're going to quick blogs, quick information to Facebook.
Right. Facebook and Twitter also.
Twitter.
It's another
social
great way.
media.
Yes.
Let's just address it that way. Yes. If you have good, and keep it short and quick.
Absolutely. People don't have a lot of time, and they're inundated with so many messages every single day, every single hour. If you're on Twitter, it's mind-boggling how many messages, how many tweets get posted on every single minute. So definitely keep it short, keep it sweet, and get your point across.
I want to go to something real quickly because we only have about 2 more minutes, and that is Give us some samples. In small business, customers come in every day. Do you ask them to encourage your customers to fill something out? Do you ask the question when they're checking out? Give us some advice on that.
Sure. You know, if you have a storefront and you've got customers coming in and out, going to your check register, every time they check out, ask them, how did we do? And keep track of it somewhere. Even if it's a code next to your customer, you can put that down. And then if there's a problem, make a notation what the problem is. Afterwards, go back into that file. Look to see what that problem is and get the owner or the manager of the store on the phone with that customer and apologize for what happened. Ask, how can we make it better?
Yeah.
If you're able to do that right then and there at the spot, great. You know, we've gone to some restaurants in the past where the service has been extremely slow and the manager has come over, apologized, and offered something in return.
Yeah, like a dessert. You're not going to order a dessert anyway, so how much did it really cost them? But it really helped.
Right.
But you got to find out that.
Absolutely.
Or you got to be good enough to realize the business is slow.
Right.
Good stuff. And last thing is, we talked about this you were over the phone. You mentioned a 2D barcode.
Yes, the QR codes.
Yes, it's a little barcode that's square.
It is. It's square. It's got all these little black shadings all over the place. And we're starting to see it more and more and more. Really big in Europe and Asia. Now getting very strong here in the U.S. You can have the code go back to your website, so you're always directing traffic back to your website.
And that code could be scanned by your smartphone.
Yes.
Is what it's all about.
Yes. Okay. Takes a picture. You can do a product demonstration on there. So it goes back to a YouTube link with a product demonstration. Or if you're in entertainment, a trailer or a video to a new show that you have.
Yeah, just great ways to communicate
Right.
with different generations that communicate so many different ways nowadays. So
Absolutely.
Good stuff. And transforming customers into lifelong customers. Diana Meyer, how do those watching the show get a hold of you?
Well, there's a number of ways. My website is www.meyermktg.com. My email address is dmeyer@meyermktg.com, or phone number 661-254-6141.
661-254?
6141.
Perfect. Want to make sure we got that in.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Diana Meyer with President of Meyer Marketing Intelligence. So we're going to jump to a quick break, but when we come back, Joe Messina, President of Wildcat Business Group, and we're going to talk about the real social marketing for small business. We'll be right back.